Yo, it's Guido coming at you with the Tactics Talk, guys. Welcome back, and today we have Breiner. Breiner is back in his Type 64, and he is top tier in a two-tier battle. Not very often you get to be a Type 64 in a top-tier battle like this with some Tier 5s to beat up on. This is a really good Tier 6 Premium Scout. It did not suffer a nerf, and this was a long time ago now, when the Scouts got re-wickered, when they got re-tiered and redone. Matchmaker-wise, there were a few of the older premium scouts that didn't actually get touched. So they stayed at their own tier while other scouts got moved around and messed with, but the premiums did not. And what did that do? Long story short, made a lot of those very, very good at their tier. And this is one of those tanks. It's a really fun tank. He's running an LNES, low noise exhaust system. He's got a turbo. He has optics. He's not running a directive, and he's got two kits and a fire extinguisher. So let's see how this goes. I've seen the end plates. I think we're in for a treat here. This is a ride along. I have not seen this. A first look. Breiner spawned into the south on Himmel's, I don't know, Himmel's Fisherman's Bay. Dorf. All right. Headed up to the middle, and he's dueling the AMX ELC BIS 4-stone mojo for positioning. You don't really like to see this too much. It'd be nice, really, if scouts would go to different spots, but let's see where the two go. Breiner jumps into this bush and gets spotted. Looks like maybe he pushed through. Nope, never mind. There's somebody else YOLOing and saw him. Nice. T50-2 decided to just drive in and kind of counter scouts everybody. So whether he meant to counter scout or that was just serendipity or happenstance, who knows? But we did lose a few hit points. Yeah, a leopard hit us with one shot for 32. So Breiner moves over here, says, you know what? I have another bush I can go to. I'm going to come on in here. We'll take a look and see what might be crossing. Maybe we can give the heavies some SA. It's possible that he didn't catch anything because they were fast enough that while he was messing around over in the west, they got through over there. But we'll see what happens. Taking some peeks. We got a Panzer KW1. What on earth? Panzer... What is that? Panzer KW... I have no idea. Oh, I think I know what that is. Isn't that the combo Panzer and KV1 thing? I believe so. Something like a Panzer IV bottle? Panzer IV body and a KV1 turret or so. Did this change? What is going on here? Is there... Did this map change again, or has this been here the whole time? I haven't fought in the middle for very much, and I didn't realize that there was this dip here. When did that happen? I completely missed that. Completely missed it. So Breiner's hanging out. Now, he's going to have a big game, fellas. And this is not going like I thought it might have for the big game. He ends up shooting a whole bunch. But let's find out how we get there, because we're already 2 minutes into it and we've maybe fired one shot, maybe not even one shot. We've taken one shot. We have only 21 assists. We've lost two of our buddies. They've lost one of theirs, and now Breiner finds the Matilda BP hanging out. Misses with the first shot. He's not carrying a whole lot of gold, so he's going to have to be a little bit careful as far as aiming goes. Oh, that guy runs into a wall. Armor not hit on the last shot. We get a blind shot. We do. We take one more blind shot and we'll back on out. A little bit dangerous sort of highlighting yourself on the middle there, if I'm honest, because we've got the T50-2 that should have you lit any moment now. Have you been lit the whole time? There we go. Finally sees you. That's crazy. I'm not even sure it was him, to be honest, because there was still a bush between the two of you. What's a bush between friends or enemies, really, at this point? 3 kills on both sides. Breiner raging around. He's only racked up 220 hit points. Artillery shells and tracers flying in every which way. You got some fast firing already in this game. Looks like the 304 is already dead though on Breiner's team. And we've got a 4-3 situation. He's working the middle like a good scout would do. Come on in here. See if we can maybe catch somebody being unwise in the middle. They are not there. Heavy fights starting to get kind of engaged down there. And Breiner sidles up and slinks on into that little bush line there. 3002 has showed up. All right. There's a Highland Dick or Dirk. Which one? Highland Dirk. Oh, Highland Dirk, as in the knife, the kniffy, the sword. The Kniffy. Oh boy. What on earth? Another shot goes in and we don't take any damage. We have blocked 85 with the mighty armor of the Type 64. Folks, that's something you don't see every day. Probably hit the gun or some such thing. Mantlet or whatever. So our hero's sort of moving around the middle, and I ain't even kidding you, man. We still have a lot of work to do. This guy's just sort of sitting there. He gets thumped. And we got spotted for that. Interesting. These middle bushes are... You know, bushes aren't all the same 100% of bush. They do vary, so some are better than others. These middle ones are known for not being as... how would you put this? They're known for not being as camo-y as they should be. Breiner, long range shots. This thing does not have really great dispersion, but he knocks down that little extra piece that's on that building, and now he's just going to maybe farm this guy for a while. This tank does have an issue with ammo. You've noticed that he's already down to about 30 shells till this guy is AFK, I think. So we're just farming the AFK or very dumb guy. How would you know the difference? I don't know. This one appears to be AFK. He's getting absolutely wrecked. Over 932. One more shot. Maybe we get the kill out of this. Boom. Man, he hit. That was amazing how many times he hit with those shots. Very nicely done. 1,127, 73 assists, and a mighty 85 bounced. Still cruising around the middle. I will say it again. I've said it before. Oftentimes I get games like this and I see the giant result, and it basically goes down almost nowhere near what I thought might happen. In fact, he's lost a complete flank over here, and it looks like Breiner wants to come over and maybe provide some eyes for his buddies. There goes the LEF making a runner. I'm very surprised he actually lived through all that because he sort of sat there in the middle for a while. So we've got a Matilda BP, P43 BIS, another BIS. That's all BS over there. T34 in the middle. The heavies have won their flank, and for a wonder, they aren't pushing, or at least the ones that did push died, it would appear. And everybody's moving back. That's nice. You know, you don't see that down here at this tier very often. It's very nice to see that the green guys are coming back, although the M6 is spotted. You know how I know he's spotted? Because he's taking arty fire. See the little dot around him? That means he's seen by somebody. Oh, here comes somebody right here. So we take a chance shooting before we can back up and get kind of in cover. Now we got this Matilda BP that we sort of beat up on earlier. We have gone to AP in order to ensure those shots go in, or at least give as good a chance as possible. And I think right now blind shooting is a little bit dangerous. We got 1,200 and 1,234 damage and 73 assists. We're going to have to be careful with our shells from now on, really. There's quite a few purple tanks left to deal with. Breiner's got this nice vision control here on this flank to keep them from pushing across. And unfortunately for Breiner, his team is dying wholesale in the middle. So it was a good idea to come back, but they sort of tried to climb up. And one of the problems with going where they were going is the enemy team owned the whole west side of the map. So they have shots across. They're also up there in the middle like the T-34, and they basically clean out Breiner's whole push trying to move back. So really that their team needed to fall back to about where Breiner is, at least fall back into the city a little bit, because they just weren't going to be able to hold the middle. That is unfortunate. And Breiner's down to 3 buddies, and it's looking grim for our hero. 1,232 damage still and 73 assist. So we are going to do what light tanks excel at, which is reposition and come at him from a different angle. Right? Last he was seen was back by the cap. People were being shot by him back there, and now Breiner kind of swings around in behind. You gotta like this, and he finds this guy. I think I would have stopped by those bushes. But Breiner says, nope, I am on the move. Breiner is done with this hiding in bushes. He goes fully offensive and gets away with it. 1,403 damage. There must be some blind shots in here that were... Oh my gosh, are we going to hit this guy? Oh, good lord. I told you. I told you it usually... Not usually. I told you that often. I find these games don't go the way I would have thought. Some of those auto aims and moving shots, especially with a type... Or a, type what? Type 64. Whatever the heck I'm reviewing here. They just don't go in, man. Oh, he gets tracked. He misses that shot. I wonder if that's going to matter. Is that the critical shot? And he's just absolutely abusing the 3002. You gotta love that. And now the BIS is moving in on his LEF. He's only got one buddy left. The LEF is trying to duel a P43 BIS, which is probably going to go poorly. Maybe he can get one shot on the guy, and well, it doesn't look like it. And now we've got a 600 hit point P43. Breiner is just going to go mono a mono with this guy. Takes it. Oh, the guy's running the small gun, it looks like. So that's a good thing. He's not getting thumped for 300. And is he just going to keep... He is. Breiner does not care. He's got 60 hit points. Artillery's firing from every direction. The guy misses. He's got him pinned. Oh, no. Okay, he fixed it. The guy... What is happening? Oh, we get a bounce. We have one more AP shell, and it kills him with the last AP shell. And we're going to have to get really lucky from here with 5 HE shells left to try to win this game. 5 kills, 2,446 damage, 230 assists, and a good half of that damage or more in the last 2 engagements there of just Breiner putting the pedal to the metal, not giving 2 craps, and pushing at these guys. And it's 2 Arty and a Giro. Now, theoretically, this is possible. It's a small caliber gun. Maybe not even theoretically, but I'm just going to chuck it out that maybe if he gets some good rolls and pens, what can he do with this? Not a whole bunch. 185. That's about what the 2 Arties have. So call that 3 shells for 2 Arties and maybe 2 shells for the Giro. It is maybe possible. Now, I suppose we can go full theoretical if we say, what if he ammo racks each of them with 1 shot? Okay. So theoretically, it is absolutely positively possible. But this is looking really difficult, and he runs off. This Giro, I will tell you, they have horrible view range. So who knows where that poor guy is. Probably trying to charge in. He might even be moving towards the cap. This just looks like actually a pretty decent situation. You would certainly love to have some of your AP back, and maybe some of those blind shots there, Breiner, maybe some of those blind shots cost you just a bit. Now, where is this guy? Where, oh where, can the Giro be? Dare I ask if he will be the Giro of the team? Will he be the purple Giro? I don't know. We're going to find out. M44 LEF, a Giro. Full hit points because TD camping on the red line. We're at 4 minutes. There he is. There he is. Oh, already thought about it, and then the guy put his front armor to him, so that's difficult. So maybe what we need to do is swing in behind the bushes. So I'll tell you right now, Breiner, for me, I think what I might have done right there was, as soon as I saw him, kind of back out and come around, use these bushes as cover, push up, then back out till you get solid bushes, and shoot him. Problem is, he'll know where the shot came from. He'll put front armor, and it's not great front armor, but it's okay. I'm not really sure what we're waiting for. Honestly, with the way he is oriented, you could probably back out of this, swing around up here, and shoot him. Also, something to think about, Breiner and everybody else, there's a minute and a half. Maybe you move into the middle of the map and maybe catch one of the Arty out being silly, kill him off, and then work on the Giro. So there's a couple options in here. I would not auto-aim him, though, because if I was going to use the HE, I do want to try to shoot into a piece of armor that's thinner. And every time he gets closer to you, it's going to be harder to get away from him. Oh, geez, now there's the M44. There you go. Now, there's a great idea. Oh, okay, so so you're not covered up on him. I'd back up just a little bit more, Breiner. If you back up slightly more, now you're covered up with this building. He won't see you, and you'll be able to shoot the M44. So let's see if you get spotted doing this. You do not, so it's no... Oh, that hurts. More lead fire. Oh, more lead fire was absolutely required. Nice kill, and we're going to back into here. That should get you spotted. It did. I see, that's where I would have been a little more careful, I think, my friend, using the edge of this building, because I think you might have been able to kill him, although it could have been the 44 seeing you. I'm not sure, though. I think it probably was the Giro. And now I'm worried that that little LEF is going to kill you before you can do anything about it. Rocking back and forth. Yep, here it comes. Oh, look at that. He doesn't really know where you are. All right, I like this. There you go. That miss That miss got you, man. Here's what I'm thinking too: is this guy going to shoot into that spot once he gets lit? If he was smart, he would shoot. Oh, I said it, didn't I? If he was smart. Oh, there it is. All right. Nicely done. This is an over 3,000 damage game, guys. There were a few blind shots in there that did connect. 230 assists. Man, I think you had a chance. It wasn't a good one. That miss really hurt you. You really needed that shell. It was also going to be difficult to take down the LEF because they actually are fairly well armored. You're going to have to, no kidding, get in behind that guy with your HE. So honestly, with 650 on the Giro, I don't know. You were kind of needing an ammo rack, to be quite honest. It took you 2 shots to take out the M44. It was going to definitely take you 2 to get out the Giro with an ammo rack or a fire, and maybe 1 or 2 to take. Yeah, so we're looking at not enough ammo and ammo racks having to be used in this case. But nicely done, man. You kept them on their toes. And we talked a little bit about using this bush and thinking about different angles of spotting and shooting. There was a way to do that without this Giro seeing you. And I kind of figured, I do this myself. If I know someone's dicking around in a certain bush and I go dark and then I get lit again, well, I know probably he's poked into the same spot, especially if he's done it a couple times and you had, so you hadn't really shown any indication that you wanted to move around very much. I might take a shot and stab it in there, and that's exactly what he did. But thanks for sending that. That was a good game overall. Bit of a heartbreaker, my friends. A little bit of a miserable Monday action. 6 kills, over 3,000 damage, 230 assists, and a mighty 85 bounce from the Type 64. That's all I've got for today. You guys have a great rest of your day. We will see ya.